Hello, my name is Anonymous. I am here to tell you about a very unique nun named Sister Gertrude and her lover Joseph. This story was sent to me by a friend. In fact, this story was given to him by his grandmother who knew the nun personally when she was younger. So this is going to be one of those stories where we have to use our imagination just a little bit because there isn't really any pictures or videos of these people. However, I am going to do my best to bring them to life. So if you are ready, let's go. All right, so back to our story. Sister Gertrude was not your average nun. She liked to drink wine with lunch, occasionally smoke a pack of cigarettes, and she also had a boyfriend named Joseph. Joseph wasn't any ordinary man either. He was in fact the son of the local mafia boss, so you can imagine that he wasn't exactly the most upstanding citizen in the community. Now, it's hard to say how long their relationship had been going on for, but Sister Gertrude had gotten pregnant at least 3 times by him, and each time she miscarried. She couldn't keep doing this forever. She wanted a baby. So what she did was took matters into her own hands. One day she told Joseph that they needed to talk. They met at their usual spot, an abandoned house at the end of the street where no one ever went. When Joseph arrived, he saw Sister Gertrude sitting on a chair in the middle of the room, and she looked very serious. After they exchanged pleasantries, she told Joseph that they needed to get married. Joseph was shocked. He never thought that Sister Gertrude would actually want to marry him. You see, he was a known womanizer. And even though he loved Sister Gertrude more than any other woman, he knew that he would never settle down with her. He tried to persuade her to come back to his place so they could spend the night together, but she refused. She said that she wanted to get married in a church and she wanted all of their friends and family to attend the ceremony. Joseph was flabbergasted. He couldn't believe that Sister Gertrude was actually serious. He thought that she was just joking around and that she would eventually agree to come back to his place with him. But she didn't. She insisted that they needed to get married. So they made plans to get married the following week. The wedding was going to take place in a small church on the outskirts of town. It wasn't the biggest or the most beautiful church, but it was perfect for their needs. On the day of the wedding, Sister Gertrude looked beautiful. She wore a white dress and veil, and she had her hair curled. She looked like any other bride, except for the fact that she was wearing a habit underneath her dress. Joseph looked handsome as well. He wore a black suit and a white shirt, and he looked like he just stepped out of a magazine. The ceremony was short and sweet, and they were soon man and wife. After the ceremony, they had a reception in the church hall. There was food and drinks and music and dancing, and everyone had a great time. After the reception, they went to a small cottage that Joseph had rented for their honeymoon. They spent the first few days just relaxing and enjoying each other's company. They went on walks in the woods and they swam in the lake and they just had fun. But after a few days, Sister Gertrude started to feel sick. She didn't think much of it at first. But then she started to feel worse and worse. So Joseph drove her to the hospital. The doctors ran some tests and they told them that she was pregnant. Sister Gertrude and Joseph were overjoyed. They both wanted a baby so badly and now their dreams were finally coming true. Sister Gertrude gave birth to a healthy baby girl, and they named her Maria. Now, you might be wondering what happened to Sister Gertrude's old life. Well, she gave up her old life when she married Joseph. She didn't tell anyone that she was getting married, so her fellow nuns had no idea where she went. They assumed that she had simply left the convent, but they didn't know that she had married a mafia boss's son. Joseph and Sister Gertrude lived a happy life together. They had 2 more children, a boy and a girl, and they all lived in a small town away from Joseph's criminal family. Now, this story has a pretty interesting ending, but I can't help but wonder what happened to Sister Gertrude's old life. Did her fellow nuns ever find out what happened to her? And if they did, what did they think? I guess we'll never know. If you enjoyed this video, then check out my others. I have a ton of videos about the mafia and organized crime, and if you haven't already, then please subscribe and like. It really helps me out a lot. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. All right, so now that we're done talking about Sister Gertrude, let's talk about something else. Something that I'm sure many of you guys have seen before. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live in a world without pain? No more headaches, no more toothaches, no more pain when you fall down and scrape your knee. Sounds pretty good, right? Well, there is a way to live in a world without pain. And no, I'm not talking about taking painkillers or anything like that. I'm talking about something much more profound. I'm talking about living in the moment. You see, pain is a part of life. We all experience pain, whether it's physical pain or emotional pain. But pain can also be a source of strength and wisdom. When we experience pain, we learn how to be more present in the moment. We learn how to appreciate the good times even more. When we don't have pain, we tend to take things for granted. We get complacent and we stop appreciating the good times. But when we've experienced pain, we know that it won't last forever. We know that the good times will eventually come again. That's why it's important to embrace pain. Don't try to avoid it or escape from it. Embrace it and let it make you stronger. Let it make you more present in the moment. This is the way of the Jedi. They understand that pain is a part of life, and they embrace it. They don't let it control them, but they also don't try to escape from it. Now, I'm not saying that it's easy to embrace pain. It takes a lot of strength and courage to do that. But when we do embrace pain, we become more wise and more understanding. We become better people. So the next time you experience pain, don't try to escape from it. Embrace it and let it make you stronger. Let it make you more present in the moment.